everyone, welcome back to League Racing TV. We're here for the CTC PC division. We're racing at the lovely Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. So if I just quickly get that track map on the screen for you. Obviously 19 turns, 4.3 miles long. Probably the longest track on the F1 calendar. Obviously, I am one of your two commentators this evening. Obviously, Corey Brooks is running a little bit late. He did alert me that I'll have to start qualifying without him. So hopefully he is here in time for the race. But without further ado, let's get into qualifying and let's see how these drivers shake up the grid today. And obviously a couple of things to be aware of for this qualifying session. Both Venturi drivers have qualifying bans due to one of their drivers doing a little bit, not having their way. Let's just leave it at that. So that's unfortunate for them. And also they got double DSQ'd as well from last week's race as well. And then obviously, unfortunately, Azure Esports do not have any drivers today apparently. So that is unfortunate for them. So track maps on, that's on. Yep, we good. So yeah. So obviously I'll be so in this first qualifying session, then only one driver will get knocked out in Q1. But all the rest will Q2 will have two. So who will be that one person getting knocked out in Q3? Do we reckon? So let's have a look then. Who is the first person venturing out on the track? We've got one of the Tassim Race Tech drivers here, Valentino Labella. Been on a good run as of late for the team. But we're going on board here with Dennis Langrock. Looks like he's going to be the first person to show us a lap around this magnificent Belgian track. And I just realised I don't have a track map on my second monitor. You'll have to give me 1 second while you bear with a pause menu. Sorry in advance. Like I always forget one thing all the damn time. I'm just thankful it's usually just the track map I'm forgetting. So let me just rectify this real quick. There we go. There we go. Pause menu now gone bye-bye. Because I always forget some of these corner names. So anyway, gonna ride on board of Dennis Langrock here as he's gonna be the first driver to set a banker lap on those intermediate tyres. So as he's coming into the bus stop chicane here, taking a very awkward line to like start the lap, but that's fine. Somebody forgot to validate their files. Oops. Oh well, it's not game breaking, so it's fine. But anyway, then Langrock now coming full power down the hill, and now we go back up the hill for Eau Rouge onto the Camel Straight. Pretty much flat out the most of the sector. Yeah, no, that's gonna be an issue. Sorry about that. Yeah, somebody forgot to validate his files, and since he's the lobby host, yeah, I can't do that. Oh well, we'll have to deal with it. We'll have to deal with it for a bit until Corey Brooks shows up, because when he does, we're gonna have quickly do the old switcheroos so he'll be the one showing the stream instead of me. Dennis Lang right now coming through 13, 14 and 15 of Campos. And, well, 14 of Campos are now coming to around Stavolo. And I've pretty much full throttle for the final section here, as it's pretty much going up the hill towards Blanchimont. And then we'll be nice and tight to the apex. And now onto the brakes for the hard brake and heavy chicane of the bus stop chicane. And now back onto the power. DRS fly open up to line for the banker lap is a 1:45.905 on those intermediate tyres. And Valentino Labella also on the intermediate says gone 6 times slower. Kenneth is invalidated. Lawrence Patton on the intermediates just a little slower than Valentino, and then their teammate Ryan is about to cross the line. Ryan Gobb just behind Lawrence. And there goes the Venturi duo retiring from the session. And who's this coming out? No, it is Kenneth who's invalidated his lap. So we'll go on board with TechB. Because FRT actually have drivers this week. Can you need to turn yourself up a bit, mate? Why? Do I sound a little quiet? As I shouldn't do. Like, the mic audio, it looks fine on my end. It's probably just because I'm a bit far from my mic, so I do apologise for that. Yeah, I might sound a bit louder now because I'm closer to the microphone. So let me know if the thing has changed. If it hasn't, I'll change it on OBS in a second. But should be okay. So Tech B's also done his lap, 2 times slower than Ryan. So that is all fine. So these guys will come back into the pits. Obviously in this session, obviously only the slowest driver will be out. So that's a bit of a lag spike there for Tech B or myself, one of the two. But I don't think it's me. So anyone gonna come out of the pits to anyone gonna do a soft run for me? Anyone at all? Anyone? Like I said, I do hope Corey Brooks does turn up before the race starts, because I would hate to do this switcheroo then. So, oh yeah, I should obviously bring up a bit of a updated race standings. I did fix the standings, so we do have standings. Quickly, while everyone's in the pits, let me just add the image. 1 second. Let me just add the... There we are. There you'll see it. While everyone's in the pits, I'll leave this on the screen for just a few minutes. Okay, we've got Joe Murphy, Tony Atala, and Francesco Lago leaving the pits. So here's a quick update of the points. So Shizou Scenic Igniters still at the top with 222 points. Then you got FVR with 164 after their big points haul last week from Tony Atala. That'll explain why he is racing again this week for FVR. Hope to get some more points so they can catch up to Shizou. And you got Thomas Eng Racing jumping still in third with 159, and obviously with Venturi getting their double race disqualifications last week. They dropped from second to fourth. Tatum Race Tech again took a lot of points last week for the team, so they've jumped up to fifth ahead of TF10, who are now in sixth with 119. We've got FRT after not racing for a few weeks. They only have 78, so they've dropped 2 places. But they've got drivers today, so hopefully it should make some ground. AMR currently in 8th with 62, just ahead of ET, 5 points ahead of ETA in 9th, who are in 9th with 57. And then unfortunately Zero will not be getting any points this weekend because they have no drivers. So, a little unfortunate for them. But yep. So that is the points up to date, and now I'm gonna go on board with Joe Murphy because I believe he is starting his first flying run on the soft tyres. So as he's coming up to turn 1 here, heavy onto the brakes for the tight hairpin, and now back onto the power as he goes down the hill towards Radion and Rouge, and now up the hill of those sad corners. And now onto the flat-out Camel Straight. Expect a lot of overtaking in the race. Expect a lot of overtaking. I cannot speak to this. Sorry. Yep. Keeping it nice and tidy there is Joe. Like, you can ride the curbs quite a bit here at Belgium, but some of those curbs you do not want to ride too much of. Otherwise, the car will just be sucked into the gravel. Ooh, that was very close to gravel there on the exit of 11, as we're now coming towards Pouon. And now we're coming up to Campus and Stavelo to finish the middle sector. Bit far out from those curbs there a little bit. There is Joe, but I think he's okay. Coming into the final flat out sector pretty much until you get towards the bus stop chicane, as he now comes up through Blanchemont and up to the last couple of corners here of the bus stop chicane. Looking a pretty clean and tidy lap, but I think I took a bit too much curb there on the entry of the bus stops. That could hinder him a little bit. But what's it going to be for Joe Murphy? A 140.626. As we've got Tony Atala, I think that is behind him, and Tony goes about 300ths faster, as Lago is 3 times down on his teammate. Next will be one of the Hasses. Which one is it? Is it a Yep, it is a Vadigabadi. The one name I actually like, that makes me sound like a wizard. According to Corey Brooks last time I said his name. The TF10 man coming out of the bus stop chicane, wobbling a little bit, but obviously there could be lag up to line for them. It's a 41-0, and Diego Zorro has come up to 3rd. Well, they're all coming across line. Ryan Jacobs up into 6th. Vano Kenneth into 3rd. Gabar Santos into 5th. Tristan Janssen splitting the TF10s as Zenteni goes fastest of everybody with a 140.428. The AMR driver clearly picking off where he left off last week. Last week, Zenteni was the standout performer last week, as he was cutting his way through the field. And today he is picking off where he left off last week from by going provisional pole for the time being. Valentino Labella's done his lap. He's up to P8. Yeah, bro's done a 40.4. Like, what? What are you guys moaning about? So, yep. I just see Maze in the YouTube chat with a lot of penguins. Piney, check the sectors, please. Why? I was gonna say, if Zenteni didn't do a 0.4, Tony would have done a 0.4 later on. Like, I'm sorry, if it wasn't Zenteni that does a 0.4, it'd be Tony that does it. But why do you want me to check the sectors? I just want to see his sectors. because of point 4 is mental. Yeah, kind of is. Yeah, Zenteni, Atala, Murphy, Kenneth, Diego, Gabor of all retired from the session. Yeah, I don't like only one driver goes out of the session. Why has Vasso joined? Why is Steven Vasso just joined the session? I was gonna say, I'm thinking, what are you like? What is Steven doing? I also got Lago and Kenneth also retiring as well. I think that's Techby leaving the pits again. So yeah. Oh yeah. Also as well, I do have something else to show you guys after the race. So you're gonna see one pause menu again for 2 seconds, just while I import something just quickly, because I do have an updated calendar. Like, I do have the final 3 rounds of this season's calendar. So I am just downloading the picture, and I'll show it to everybody after qualifying. So you should be ready to see. And Lawrence Patton is also thing. So right now, currently driver at risk is Ryan Jacobs for TF10, and Ryan Gobb is the only is in 16th. We'll need to try and find a good lap to improve on that. So we'll ride on board here with Techby for FRD, as you'll want to look to improve on their time. Currently at a 1:41.0 is their current time. But Avadi Gabani and Gabriel Moya have done similar times to him as well. So we'll have to see what they can do as Tech and his Tech B is going to start his lap coming into turn 1. So he's going to be the first one. Then it's Ryan, which way around are the TF10s. So it's Tech B, Ryan, then Avadi, Avadi Gabadi, then Jacob, Tristan, and then Gabriel is the last person. So let's see how much of an improvement Tech B improves as they're coming through the first sector. Only 9 milliseconds up on their current time. Checkered flag is now out. So if these drivers invalidate, that is going to be unfortunate for them. Obviously, Ryan Gobb is the only one actually at risk. If he invalidates, that is his session done. As Tech B is now coming down the hill towards Puhon. And now coming nicely down to turns 13, 14 and 15. Just a quick left, right, left. Sorry, right, left, right. Me know what I'm saying. And now back on the power. He's up in the middle sector by almost 2/10. A 2/10 improvement would see him jump into the point 8, so maybe to where his teammate is. As Techbeat is coming up to the bus stop chicane. This is where you could either lose time or gain time, depending on how you take the corner. And now back on the power for Tech. Where's he going to improve to? Just behind Valentino into 9th as Ryan Gobb's going to come up to the line and improves even more. He goes up to 9th. So now it's going to be Ryan, but he's invalidated his lap, so he's out. Ryan Jacobs is going to be the unfortunate person. It looks like Tristan also invalidated. So yeah. So obviously out in Q1 then. Tristan lucky to be still in. Hopefully man can improve. So obviously out in Q1 then. Unfortunately both entries serving qualifying bans, so they are starting from the back. Then Ryan Jacobs is the only other person getting knocked out. But that's not a bad spread though. 0.8 separates them all, which ain't that bad. And obviously fastest of this Q1 session was AMR Zenteni, literally leaving off from where he left last week. So we'll have to see if Man can go faster, or will Tony Atala knock him off of that top spot. Because I know for a fact Tony Atala, that is a quick driver, and I do believe he can definitely go. I think he could probably definitely do more than better than a 0.4. Like, honestly, if I'm being honest, I think I'd probably see Tony doing a 0.2. I would say, to be fair, Bart, it might see a massive difference to you guys, but I comment in other leagues. Yeah, they're not as fast as these guys, so I'm not used to seeing like a full second being separated by all of them. Like, you gotta bear that in mind. Like, this is your only league where I just commentate with it, where I've got actual good drivers. Like, I commentate like other leagues, but then if I'm being brutally honest, those drivers are they're not that good. Those drivers are not that good in those leagues. They're just more for fun leagues. But I love commentating for CTC. So, but obviously it'll be even more shock if I can see that 0.8 get even smaller. It'll be interesting. We don't want that on. So, right, who's at the front of the queue? It is the Williams duo, and it's Langrock ahead of Kennis. You should come some more good leagues. Yeah, I probably should, Maximilian. I probably should. So if you can point me in the right direction of some good leagues, then I'll happily go see if I could commentate there. Like, I would like to do like comms sometime for like PSGL and WOR, but I think at the minute both of them, I think are full at the minute for comms people. Like, but obviously it doesn't hurt going to ask them. By saying the same thing, I should think. Also reckons Pole's gonna be a 0.0 or 0.1. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody even does a sub 140. If somebody does a sub 140, I'll be very impressed. But will that happen? Not likely. But you never know. And now there's a name I haven't seen all season, except for the first 2 races. Larry Tolkien showed up in the chat. And there's an Oliver as well. PSGL comms are open. I'll have to get on that server then and talk to whoever's in charge, then see if I can get into one of the comms. Anyway, I've not even been paying attention to this. I saw one of the racing bulls going fast past these guys, but he's gone into the pits. So anyway, right on board here with Dennis Langrock. His teammate's is just behind, not far behind him. So wants to see what Dennis can do as he's coming up to the bus stop chicane. About to finish his lap. And what's it going to be for Dennis? Banker time of a 1:41.6. That's going to be on a used set of tyres, surely. There's no way that's on brand new tyres. Unless he's made a mistake somewhere. Tristan's invalidated. Valentino Bella's finished his lap. A 42.1. That's a bit slow from him. So Valentino's made a mistake somewhere. Also looks like he is going again. Oh yeah, that real light's not blinking, so I think Valentino is definitely going again. But it's, oh no, maybe not. He's five tenths down. Nah, the light's blinking now. So looks like Tristan's invalidated early, so he's starting again. We've got more people now leaving the pits. So we'll go on board with Tristan, see if he gets impeded by the Aston Martins. Check tyres real quick. Yeah, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that will tell me if they're on old sets or hards. Old sets. Yeah, because if they're on, yeah, 0 lap tyres, yeah, so it was, that's interesting. So Dennis, so yeah, Dennis's time must have been on brand new tyres then. He might have just made a mistake then if he was doing a 41.6. Because I was like, I thought it would have been a full second faster than that. Oh. So, right on board here with Tristan Jensen. Barely making it into Q2 here. Want to try and improve on the time they did last time around, which I believe was 1:41.3. It doesn't carry over from Q1. Ah, okay. So yeah, I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that if it's on used set or not. Thanks, Oliver. But yeah, you would. Yeah. It's like it's obvious that it'll all be on used sets of tires. It's just to get a banker lap in. Like just to get a banker lap in. It looks like Tristan here's slowed down, so he's gonna. So he'll probably come into the pits, put a brand new set of tires on. Then get going. Where is Lawrence Patton? As Patton here starting their lap. They've made their debut race in CTC last week for ET8. And they are back again. So also see if Lawrence can improve on what they did last time out. As I see a lot of traffic at the bus stop chicane. Hopefully that clears before Lawrence gets there. Hopefully it should. I should also message a Corey Brooks as well, just to see where Man is. Because qualifying will 7 minutes after. Yeah, we should be done by qualifying about 5-2. So Lawrence Patton then coming through Blanchemont towards the bus stop chicane on to the brakes. And now foot to the floor, out the corner, up to the line for the ET8 driver. Will they be faster than what they did in Q1? The answer is yes. A 40. No, I think that is faster than what they did in Q1. So that's a good lap there from Lawrence. Ryan, definitely that is on a used set. So that's because like his time to get into Q3 was in the 40s. So he's like over a second off of his pace. But look, is it Gabor? Yep. As Joe Murphy for SCI has gone 3 tenths faster on the runs. As Gabar Santos for FRT coming out the final corner. Up to the line. Goes in between the pair of them. Up into P2. Francesco Lago comes across high and goes just behind his teammates. And now we'll go on board as Vadio goes into the pits. Zenteni fastest in Q1. Comes across high and does a 40.149. I'm sorry, what? Bro, what the heck is this man? Gabriel Moya, his teammate, does a 40.556. Diego's gone up to P3. Where's Atala? Coming up to the bus stop chicane now is Atala. Now foot to the floor. Come on, Tony. I know for a fact you should be able to dethrone Zenteni. Ah. Just behind his teammate in 4th there for Tony Atala. But I'm sorry, where's this pace come from Zenteni though? Like, yes, he showed it last week by cutting his way through the field for last week, because he had a terrible qualifying last week and he just cut his way absolutely through the field. And now he's fastest in the first session and the second session by a good 10th and a half. Like, that's mental. So is Zenteni going to be the one that I reckon that's going to break the 40s? Like, do a sub 140 time? Is that even possible? Sub 140? But Isaiah Bart is very close with his prediction. Says a 0.1 be the pole lap. We'll soon see. So I don't think Zenteni will go out again. I think he's as good as safe into Q3. I think here for AMR. And personally, I can't remember the last time I seen an AMR in Q3. Sub 140 is possible, yes. Okay. Alright, so you have given me some hope then. Because I would love to see a sub 140. I would love to see it. But it'd be crazy for CTC. Yeah. To be fair as well, I believe if anyone could do the sub 140, I think it's this man. I think Tony could do it. I honestly think Tony could do it. And I would love to see him do it if he can. Because last week, Tony just dominated the British Grand Prix. Freaking man won the sprint, took pole for the feature race, and then won the feature race as well on top of it. Like, man took all points that he could available. The only one he didn't get was fastest lap point, which went to Azurai last week. And hopefully as well, not for next week, for the week after, we should have updated graphics. Like, I am helping Aiden like sort out his sort out the spreadsheet, so he's got less work to do. So as soon as this race is done, I will like input this into the spreadsheet ready. As we've already got people leaving the pits already. So Zenteni, Joe, Diego, Atala, and Lago have all said we are done. Gabor, I think, might also be okay with the 40.4. I think the cutoff will probably be a 40.5 maybe. Yeah, we'll have to see then, Mateus. Oh, Valentino Labella retiring from the session. So I don't think Valentino. I don't think unless Valentino's not confident he's through. But with your teammate not having a lap done, or the other TF10 driver, like, you are in a very precarious spot. Like, that's why I can understand Gabor and Vano Kennis are out again on track. Because I have a small feeling they might not be okay. Hence why they are out. It's not Gabor's going to be the first one I do a lap. It's going to be Kennis. So right on board of Giovanna Kennis. Currently their personal best in the session is a 140.659. Two tenths off of Gabor. So realistically, if Kennis wants to make Q3, realistically they would have to try and match Tony and Diego with a 0.3. But will he do that is the bigger question. Obviously, everyone at Thomas Eng Racing will hoping he can, because they want to pick up a lot of points. I did not see this. I did not see the split. Crap. I didn't see how much he was up. Oh well. I'll pay attention for the second sector as he's coming around. Well, apparently it's called the Jackie X corner, that one. Apparently now. Now coming around Pouon on the way to Campus and Stavelo. Stavelo being a turn 15. There's 13 and now round Campus. Taking a bit of a wider line there. As Dennis Langrock has been shown the checkered flag. Oh no, that's a big mistake there from Kennis. He got onto the gravel. Oh, that's going to hinder his time completely there. So that is Kennis done. So Lawrence Patton and Ryan Gobb have done their laps. 9th and 10th. Alright, on board here with Kennis. I don't think they're going to improve with them making a small mistake at the second sector thing, but we'll soon find out. Somehow they do still go faster. Gabor next to come across the line. Goes up to P3. He's definitely safe now. Who is next cross line? Techbee's next cross line. Only good enough for P12. Next will be Avadi Gabadi. Taking way too much curb there on entry of the bus stop chicane. Needs a good time to try and push 188 down, and does so. Goes up to P8. Only two people left are Tristan and Gabriel Moya. Tristan not able to get into Q3, as Gabriel Moya is the only other person who could try and knock the other ETA out, and didn't. P14 for the other AMR. So here we are then. Drivers out here in Q2 then. Tristan Janssen in 15th. Gabriel Moya for AMR in 14th. Techbee in 13th. And Dennis Langrock in 12th. And then Ryan Gobb for ET8. So the 10 remaining drivers will go for the shootout. So Zenteni has been the fastest in both sessions so far. Will they continue this dominant form in qualifying, or will somebody else steal that pole position away from the AMR driver? And I'm also gonna quickly just see if I can ping a Corey Brooks to see where the man is. Right. So Tony Atala, first one out then here in thing. Just gonna. Well, as I say, I'm waiting for man to leave the pits, but he's not leaving the pits yet. Like, he's still in the garage right now, Florian. Why? Wait, hang on. Why? Why do you want me to spectate the AMR driver? Because I see you all chatting on Discord. Oh, here we go, he's leaving. Ah, Tony's invalidated his first lap. That is unfortunate. Right. Riding on board here now with Zanteni. Man has been fastest in Q1 and Q3. So we'll have a look, see what kind of lap time he does in this one. Currently, everybody's out doing a lap, but no one's actually finished a lap right now. The only person really close to actually setting a lap was Tony Atala, but he invalidated, so he went into the pits. As there we go, Lago with the fastest benchmark, with the benchmark of a 140.337. Gabor Santos now goes to the top of the timing board. 2 milliseconds faster than Lago. Murphy's done over 40.4. Avadi Gabelli's done 41.4. Definitely on new set of tyres. Next person will be Diego to cross the line. Does a 30.04. Now right on board with Zentani as he comes across. Comes out the final corner. Little bit of wheel spin out the final corner. Up to line. Does a 140.253. About half a tenth faster than Diego. But not what I was expecting from Zentani. I was expecting him to go a little faster than that, if I'm being brutally honest. But anyway, we'll go on board with Kennis, as he's the last, going to be the last person to do our lap. I'll be bailed out. Hello, Tiffy. Yep. That's a name I've not seen in a while. Freaking Pascal Ranelli. How we doing? Why have I got 3 pings? Is it? Please, it's not on Nick. Oh, Valentino Labella's done his lap. He's up to 3rd. Didn't even see that. This is where I'd be like, am I reading Discord right here? Choice final aroma speed monitoring. Yeah, I can do that. Nordic Ninja. Hang on. Why do we have a feeling this guy's cheating or something? Is that what we're saying? Because I was like, that's what I'm seeing in Discord. No, come on, Everton. You could beat Tottenham. Right. So here we are then. Everybody on their final runs. As a Joe man, if Nordic Ninja, who's a mod, is asking me to do something, I'm not gonna thing. Got on the grass a little bit. On poo on there for Zantene. Oh, he's actually down on his middle sector time, so... Hello, Formula Kai. I'll see if Century can make some improvements here. As Giovanni Kennis does a 40.1 to take away provisional pole. As Lago gears even faster. Zanteni up to line. Goes faster than his thing, but not faster than Lago. As Gabo Santos goes up into second. Joe Murphy up to third. Atala comes across line. Dolly does a 40.2. Zozo improves, but not ahead of Tony, and Valentino did not see what they did. So, that is a very tight spread between the front four. So, Lago claims the extra point for pole position for SCA, putting him up to 223 now. Gabo Santos will join him on the front row. Then Joe Murphy in P3. Zanteni for AMR in P4. Then Vano Kennis in P5. Followed with Vantino Labella. It's a FVR fourth row lockout with a Tony ahead of Diego. And then Lawrence. So yes, now we wait for the drivers to finalize their setups, their race strategies, and their things. But now the one thing I can reveal to everybody now in the chat, courtesy of Maze, who sent me this yesterday, we are now get to show you the last 3 races. And there you go. So in 2 weeks' time from today, we'll be going to the American side of the globe, starting off in Miami, Florida for that. And then we go a little down south to Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix, and then not a little far away, we'll be finishing the season in Brazil at the famous... Oh my god, I forgot what it's called now. I forgot what the... Sao Paulo GP, there we go. I remember where it is, but it's fine. So there's your last 3 races of the calendar. Obviously as well, Console will be racing the same 3 tracks, but the day before. So for Console, the dates will be the 8th, the 15th, and the 22nd. These are the PCE dates on the screen you are seeing right now. And you don't have to worry, no more sprint races. So it'll be full qualifying with the 50% races from now until the end. I assume after Brazil, we'll probably have a couple weeks break while we figure out what tracks we will do for season 6. And obviously, FVR obviously hoping to have a good start in this race. So obviously now with the calendar showing you, we'll go back trackside. I was hoping that Corey Brooks was going to show up so we can do the old switcheroo quickly, but he has not joined me in the Discord call, so there were a thing. Oh dear. Looks like Lawrence Patterns has had a small disconnect there, by the look of it. Oh, there we go. So, there we go. Then race is on the way. Obviously, Lawrence Patterson's car is kind of ghosted right now, so hopefully should be able to rejoin mid-session. Hopefully, but looks like Gabriel Santos has got off the line much better than Lago, as he's now into the lead of this race. As we're coming down the Camel Straight for the first time, Lago's going to try to look to get to the inside, but his own teammates there. And Zenteni is still there in fourth, as we got one of the FVRs off the road there of Tony Atala avoiding action. Zenteni under pressure a little bit there from Giovanna Kennis right behind him, as it looks like everyone else is still going strong. Looks like Tristan Jansen's had a spin at the start again, which is unfortunate for him. As it looks like Gabriel Moya also got a little cooked up in that incident as well. Unless his car's ghosted as well. No, he's not. Oh, Tristan also has no front wing. Well, oh, and now we got Lawrence has left the session again. Don't know why he's kicked him out twice. That is very bizarre. The game should not be kicking him out. Don't know what's happened there, because I was like, he did rejoin because he did catch up to the Venturi duo, who have obviously now improved from the back row to 14th and 15th, as Gabor leads this race for FRT, but he does have the Shizou drivers right on his rear diffuser. With now the first lap done, let's have a look at these tyres. That is not what I was expecting. I was not expecting everybody just to start hards. So, something tells me possible rain later in this race. If we're all starting hards, as Dennis Langrock has got 3 seconds for track limit violations already. We've only just completed 1 lap, Dennis, and you've already got 3 seconds. Lad, what are you doing? But anyway, it looks like so Gabor leads with Lago ahead of Murphy. Zenteni still in 4th. We've got Kenny's still in 5th. Well, he's gone up a bit, a little bit. I say a few guys have gone backwards. Biggest loser right now is obviously Lawrence Patton. Hopefully the man can rejoin. If not, then that is unfortunate, because I don't know what is going on. He shouldn't be constantly disconnecting and reconnecting. So it's just annoying I've been left on my Todd again, because I am being pinged on Discord. I know that for a fact. What? Yeah, I'm looking. I need to know an exact number of how many people are having issues right now, because if there is a desync issue, then yes, I'll restart. But if it's just like one... If it's just one or two, then... thing. Has Lawrence even rejoined the race? No, he's still out of the race. So that's... Alright, restart. We're gonna have to have a restart, people. Because apparently there's like 5 people desynced. Lawrence Patton can't even reconnect to the game. And yeah, there's too many things have gone wrong, so... Sorry I've called this late, but... yeah. Like I say, if everyone just quickly retire... If everyone just retires... If everyone... Oh no, I've got to remake the lobby now. I just realized... I'll have to remake the lobby, because if Lawrence can't rejoin, then the lobby's bugged, so... Bug lobby. But, yeah. Yeah, new lobby. Like, you guys don't seem to understand, because I see you all complaining. Like, I see you all complaining in Discord. Like, you guys have to understand, on a freaking, on a Sunday, for some reason, I seem to be the only admin around, and like I have to do everything. Like today, I have to stream, be the host of the lobby. I've got other things to do. As like thing as like I've got so many other things to do. Like some of you guys just don't understand how much work I have to do on Sunday. Like I also need to take off qualifying. We don't need qualifying. I also need to go through the, oh my god. I have to go through the freaking VOD to find the grid. Crap. I say if everyone just joins up as fast as possible, I'll try and get the grid sorted. I also need to get out, not in a car, being in a car. So I know where the Venturis are. The Venturis at the back. It doesn't matter which way around they are because they both got qualifying bans. So I know that for a fact. I say if and I know for a fact Zentani's fourth. Lago was pole. If I remember correctly, Lago was pole. His teammate was third. Who was second? Like Gabor, right? Yeah. So Zentani goes there. I say if everyone can join the lobby as fast as possible, I can get this done. I'll bring you back to my ugly mug, so you can see my frustration right now. Wrong button. Like I'm a little frustrated right now because, like I said, I have to do everything today. And there's Joe. Right, it was. Who was next? Check what. Oh, that's the point. Right, I've got 16 in the lobby, so I know for a fact Lawrence was there. Tony and Diego were 7th and thing. I just gotta remember which round it was. That. Both the Venturas at the back, as it doesn't matter which way around those two are. Avadi was 10th. I'm gonna have to go back for the freaking VOD. It wasn't Ryan Gobbers. It was the other TF10 driver. Like I said, I'm missing 2 people. Right. Time to go back through the VOD. Because I'm not sure which driver it was that was first out. Okay, that answers that question. Is the TF10 driver first out? TF10 was a TF10 driver. Wait, it's on Sunrise? What? I'll just confirm that now. That should not be on Sunrise. That should not be on Sunrise. It should be midday. Don't know why that's on thing. Right, so yeah, so Ryan needs to move up a little bit. Ryan here. Then it was Tristan, and then Gabriel Moya ahead of Tristan. Next it was Techby, who's not in, so Ryan Gold was 11th. It was Dennis Langrock, so the test drivers are the other way around. I think I've got so yeah, the back of the grid is set. I just now need to get Q3 just to confirm which way around they all are. So Lago, Gabor, Joe, Zantani. It's Kenneth, then Valentino. I can't remember which round those two were. It's Tony, Diego, Lawrence, Gabadi. Yeah, so we're just waiting on Tech B now. We are just waiting on Tech to join. As soon as Tech joins, I can fix the grid. Should be good to go. So just waiting on one last driver. So we'll be fine. Is he in? He's in. As soon as I've moved him, I've got to move him quick. Who's ahead of Gab? There we are. Yep. We good. Ready up. Right. So it looks like I am on my own. Corey Brooks has not showed up. I'll just go make sure I'm in the spectator seat. I am good. Because we cannot be having me in there because I will get left behind at the start. So yeah, grid is done. Everything's set. So unfortunately, you still have to deal with dynamic weather. Hopefully, we should. Like I say, should be okay. Like I say, you have to bear with me because literally on a Sunday, I literally have to do everything, and I mean everything. Like, I am the host, the commentator, the only admin on duty. So like sometimes, hence the late call for the restart, because I wasn't aware of this because it's on Discord. Honestly, like I said, I've got to check so many things at once. If Corey Brooks was here, then I would have to worry less of the commentating part. I could have let him carry on. So this sucks when he leaves me on my own. But hopefully he should be with me for the other 3 races. And thankfully the last 3 races of this calendar do not clash with any IRL races. Well, they shouldn't do. And I hope they don't. So we'll soon find out. Obviously, just waiting for drivers to sort out their setups, their race strategies, their fuel consumption, and whatever else they all do. So, like, they can, if they're ready to go, then thing. Yeah. Right. Just wait for drivers to ready up so we can get underway for 22 laps of this magnificent trek. And lights out, and away we go then. Looks like it's a decent start from Lago, and holy moly, Giovanna Kennis has had a monstrous start. Just down the inside of like 3 of them at the start there. Three wide as they come down the hill. Giovanna Kennis has had a lightning start. Oh, that explains why, because he's on the mediums compared to everyone else around him. And he's still side by side fighting with Gabor. Like, he's on the softer tyres, so he wants to try and get this move done as quick as possible. But Gabor tried to turn it into a move. Contact there made between the 2 pairs. As it looks like Valentino Labella is having a little look at Zenteni. As looks like he's now Valentino's under pressure now from Tony Atala behind him. Side by side as they come through turn 10 there. As we're now coming around turn 11 down the hill to turn 12, which is Puon. As looks like Tony is he's given up the fight there. As it looks like Murphy and Gabor are fighting again. It looks like Murphy is ahead. Like I said, they're all squabbling for positions here. Like, Murphy got a big gap to his teammate. I think that's probably tactical to obviously thing to help combat the attack from behind. As it looks like they're all again racy as Valentino Labella and Zenteni are fighting as we here in the bus stop chicane. Valentino also looks like they're on the medium tyre, as it looks like Dennis Langrock's got past, well, trying to get past Zozo and almost does. As Valentino and Zenteni are still not finished, and as Labella has finally got through, and it looks like Ryan Jacobs has got into some contact and he has spun it. But here's the gains and losses, as they're still fighting at the front here. Now it's Gabor and Kennis fighting, and Kennis is going to go around the outside of Gabor. But here's your tyres, and we have Nando, Dennis Langrock, Valentino Labella, and Vano Kennis all on the medium tyre. The rest of the field are all on the hards. So those 4 are doing the different strategy to everybody else, which is very, very interesting. So it is very interesting to see that. But it looks like they've all seemed to have calmed down for the time being. No gaps really starting to form, except for Ryan Jacobs being miles back due to an incident that happened at turn 1, which is unfortunate for them. Looks like Gabor here is going to come under pressure from Valentino, as Valentino's going to look for the up the inside before the bus stop chicane. And it gets the move done. Valentino Labella up into P4 now. And we'll look to get after Kennis. Avadi Gabadi looks like they've got past Zozo. And they're still fine with Zozo, actually, over what is P9. As Diego's on the inside. and has got ahead as Zenteni is losing out to Dennis Langrock here. As it looks like, obviously, Dennis being on the softer tyres, trying to get past the AMR driver, who was shining in qualifying, but in Q3 just couldn't shine bright enough to try and pull away. And obviously now are struggling, as it looks like Kenneth and Murphy are fighting again over P2. These two just squabbling the entire time. Obviously Joe's got DRS courtesy of his teammate ahead, but he's under a lot of pressure from Kenneth, who's on the softer compound of tyre. As we got Nando getting past Tristan Janssen further back. In a very interesting place as well, I might add. Out just before turn 11. Which is a new one. But obviously Lago still in the lead here. Obviously Joe Murphy is about 8 times by his teammate. But I think that is tactical to... so he's got... can keep DRS... from... oh god. Terrible tyre for a yawn. I do apologise. I don't know why I keep yawning, but we good. So anyone... looks like Dennis Langrock and Zenteni are at it again. Langrock on the softer compound tyre. Going to try to go on the outside. Putting it inside of the next corner. And we'll get the helping of DRS here up to turn 1. But they still side by side with Zenteni, as we're going to go on with Tony Atala, who's right behind us. He's got a perfect view of these two fighting ahead of him. But Zenteni on the inside, managing to keep ahead of Dennis Langrock. Still keeping ahead of the Thomas Eng racing driver. As a ride on board here with Tony, it looks like Tony's going to try and catch up to the back of the pair of these and maybe try and get past both of them. He's going to get past Dennis, so Zenteni's blocked him, but Dennis Langrock breaks late, tries to go on the outside of Zenteni, but does not get it done, and Tony just slips round his outside and gets the move. So Tony Atala up into P7 now, ahead of Dennis Langrock. As it looks like people are fighting further back. Like, Venturi do need to get a wriggle on if they want... Not Venturi, sorry, FEI want to get a wriggle on if they want to try and stop the SCI guys from running away with the title. Because as it stands right now, that is a lot of points going to SCI's way. Somehow as well, Ryan Jacobs has actually managed to slowly... He was 5 seconds back a few laps ago. He's actually caught up quite a bit. He's up to... almost down to 2 seconds behind. So looks like Atala here is going to have a look at Zenteni. Maybe at the bus stop chicane. Nope, Zenteni covers it off. So, but Atala will try again. Try again to get past the AMR driver. But not getting it, as Ryan Jacobs again, fastest lap of the race. So that man is absolutely flying to try and catch back up to the rest of the pack. So he is absolutely fine, as so is this man, Tony Atala. He's going to try and look for a move. As it looks like Gabor's trying to get past Labella. And is struggling to get past. It's still side by side. But Labella to stay ahead of Gabor. Never mind, he's going to try to go on the outside here of turn 9. Sorry, turn... Was that turn 9? Yeah, it's turn 9, sorry. Yeah, it's turn 9. Tried it, but didn't get it. So, Gabor having to settle for P5 still. As it looks like they're finally all going to now settle down in this race. We're here on lap 5 of 22. So we've got 18 to go in this race. Not sure when they're all going to start pitting, but it is obviously definitely a one-stop race, this is. I don't see people doing 2 stops around Belgium. But pretty much everybody, we're all in one long DRS train. Ryan Jacobs for TF10 is almost caught up to the back of Tristan Janssen, which would be nice for TF10 to start, for them to start moving up the fields. So we'll have to see what happens here. Obviously, I would assume Valentino and Kenneth's tyres might start falling off soon. Obviously, especially for Labella, he was having to fight a bit with Gabor, so that might have taken something out of his tyres. As it looks like, oh, Zenteni with a little bit of a send there on Gabor. Trying to get the move done. Zenteni up the inside, but Gabor's pushing him off the road. And Gabor onto the gravel, makes a small mistake, and that allows Tony Atala to go straight through as well. Don't know quite what happened. See what happened there to Gabor on the thing. I think it was contact from him, Zenteni bumping and barging a little bit. But Zenteni muscled his way through and is up into P5. We'll now look to get after Labella. But Tony says, thank you very much, Zenteni. I'll take a free place as well. As I look like Kenneth picked up some grass though on his tyre. Right, how close are you, Ryan, to the back of Tristan Janssen? You're almost within a second. So we're going to have one long trainer in a minute from first down to 18 as Lawrence Patton and Nando are swabbling on the thing as in goes Nando into the pits after 7 laps on those medium tyres. So he's the first of the medium runners to box. So he'll go on to hards until the end, which will be for about 15 laps. So we're not going to have a long DRS train anymore. We got... Oh, hello. Who was that? Who's that further up the field? No. Oh, Zenteni's going to have a look. Ooh, having a little look at Labella there, but just rear wing, just tapping him a little bit. No real damage done to the back of that Tatum car. But Zenteni's going to send it down the inside, but Labella leaves realistically not enough room, so then I think it got... Oh my god. Holy moly. I couldn't speak for a second and then just started coughing. I do apologise there, everyone. I don't know what happened there at all. Oh. But anyway, Zenteni tried to get past Labella up the inside at turn 9, but did not get it at all. Because obviously as well, those mediums might be dying now, sadly. Just the bigger question is when will those other medium runners pick? The other mediums are Kenneth, Vant, and Langrock. So as it looks like Zenteni's at it again at the bus stop chicane. Round the outside though, ahead and gets ahead of Valentino Labella. So Zenteni on the move. Oh, takes a little tap from the back of Valentino there. That was Z-Tenny. Sorry, it was Z-Tenny. That was them. Looks like Tony Atala's now going to have a look at Valentino Labella as Labella's going to go back past the AMR driver. And now Tony's going to try and get up the inner side and will get the move done. And also, wow, Z-Tenny actually loses another place to Gabor as well. But Gabor and Zenteni, oh, Gabor's just like forcing Zenteni off the road there a little bit. Cheeky there from the FRT driver. So Tony improves up 2 places and now he's up into P4. We'll try to get back into the DRS of Kenneth ahead. He's actually just dropped Labella as well completely. Like, look at it, he's completely dropped Valentino Labella. He's almost got it. Tony Atala now into the DRS of Kennis, who's dropped out the DRS of the SCI drivers ahead. Oh, so this is big. So maybe Kennis might be in then this lap. End of lap 8. As Zozo now going to have a little look at Zentene. To round the outside, Zozo will then be the inside. Still ahead as there goes Langrock into the pits, and so is Van Labella also into the pits as well. As they still got afters here for Diego and Zentene here, but Diego ahead of the AMR driver. Up into P6. The FVRs are definitely on the move. As the SCIs are finally doing some switcheroo in to try and increase their gap on the guys behind, as Tony Tyler now goes ahead of Kennis into P3. And Zentani again looking at Diego, but does not get it at all. And they are stuck behind Gabar Santos, who's dropped off the back of Atala and Kennis. It's just a big question was, will Tony drop Kennis in the middle sector? I think he will. So this is like the AMR driver here of Zitani is looking to trying to get ahead of Zozo, but he's dropping a little bit of thing there. So it looks like Nando pitting a lap earlier has actually caught up to Labella, and Langrock is actually behind Nando. So the undercut here looks to be pretty powerful. So obviously now Kennis will pit this lap, so he'll drop behind those three at the back. Well, he should be in. Yep, there we go. Into the pits comes Vano Kennis for his one stop, where everybody else continues. The SCI drivers still in a world of their own. Still in a world on their own. Tony Atala is slowly catching them, but I don't think he's going to catch them fast enough. But we'll have to see when he decides to pit. I think at this point as well, the FER drivers could probably pit and have zero issue. So Kenny's pitting a lap later than Labella, Nando and Langrock. Actually still stays ahead of them. Interesting. Because Nando pitted the lap before Valentino and Langrock and has actually got past Dennis. So this is interesting. So Giovanna's not lost anything really to those guys. But there's one big train following Gabor. He's also not like a world of his own. But he's got Diego Zorro for company. I was like, nothing really happening here. I'm getting no action. I want some action, dag nabbit. Oh, we're saying lap 11, so 12 laps to go in this race. As Tony is not really catching up to the SCA boys. I assume these two are going to do the... No, he's too far back to do the old switcheroo. So, but I would assume this is because Lago was ahead for quite a few laps. It's Joe's turn, so Lago can preserve his tyres a little bit. As Zozo here has got past Santos, and up into fourth place, making it FVR third and fourth. But realistically, they want to get ahead of the Shizou drivers because they want to try and outscore them so they can catch up even more. Yeah, the four that started on the mediums are slowly catching the back of this pack. They're about 9 seconds off the back of Ryan Jacobs, and he's the last person of these hard runners. So there you go. You can see the back four have stopped because they started on mediums. Oh no, Nando actually started pitted 2 laps earlier before Labella and Langrock. Oh, that's interesting. But he doesn't seem to be slowing them down. They're all done about 10 laps on the tyres. It's about to be 11. It looks like Diego's trying his hardest to drop Gabor as well. He's, well, was very close to it. Wants to see if he can break it here. Like, realistically, he wants to break it after this corner as he now inputs the fastest lap of the race at 1:44.622 for Diego. Now he wants to put pedal to the metal and bolt it down here. But nope, he's kept Gabor within DRS. So Gabor might try to catch the FVR and try and get ahead. So it looks like Diego tried to get away, but didn't quite get it because Gabor is still there with him. As it looks like Tony's not really gaining on the SCI boys at all now. I think he might be starting to struggle with his tyres. Just a big question is when these guys will pit though for their medium compound tyre. I would assume about lap 14, 15. I reckon we'll start seeing some of them in. As I just saw somebody just diving into the pits. It was Lucas Shea diving into the pits. So man has come off his hard. He's going to come off his hards a few laps earlier. So he's going to do 10 laps on the mediums. I would have thought he would have gone longer than that. But I guess not. So I guess not then if that is the case. So it looks... Oh! Zentani's bored again. He's got past Gabor. And we'll try to now recatch a Diego. Try not to let the FVR driver get away. Because he's very close to breaking that 1 second to Zeteni. If he breaks the 1 second, then that AMR driver is going to be in trouble. He's trying his hardest not to let him do it, but I think Diego's finally broken away from this pack. I think Zeteni is trying to keep up with him so he can break away himself from Gabor. He's almost got the 1 second to Gabor as well. It's very, very close here. Zeteni is going fast here in this final sector, try and keep within Zozo's DRS. But unfortunately, he's bringing Gabor with him. As now Lago into the pits at the end of lap 13. Again, interesting because I thought they'd go a lap longer than this, to be honest. Like, start pit at the end of this lap, I would have thought. So that is going to be interesting. Also, it's going to be interesting to see where Lago comes out compared to everybody else. As here's Kenneth and here comes Lago coming out of the pits. He's going to still be ahead of these guys. He's actually come out a full second and a half ahead of these guys behind him. So that does not give me hope for when it comes to Tony's time to pit. So Atala needs to literally send it. Because Lago barely came out ahead of Van O'Kennis. He's only, like I said, 1.4 ahead of the Thomas N Racing driver. But he's also got to catch a lot of time to Joe Murphy, who's still in the lead, as Zitani's still chasing Zuzu. There's a big gap side of form, and then there's a bit of a big gap between Gabor and Zitani. Like, as I say, not a lot has changed. We've had 6 people into the pits. Lucas Shea was the first person to pit. Obviously, he's 4.5 seconds further back, trying to undercut the rest of the field, which I'm expecting to see a lot of people in this lap, possibly either this lap or next lap. So it'll be interesting. We'll go on board with Joe Murphy, see if he goes to the box. For a second, I didn't think he was going to, but he's in. Looks like Atala is staying out for another lap. So nope, Zozo also staying out for another lap. So, and there's a few more going into the pits. I think Gabor and Avadi Gabadi going into the pits. So that's 3 pitters. So only 3 more. So yeah, I guess these guys must agree with me. So, like I said, end of lap 14, I thought most people would be in the pits, but no, we're only 3 more boxes into the pits. Joe is going to come out behind Lago by about 1.5 seconds behind Lago, but he should catch back up quite quickly. As Lucas Shea is actually going to jump Gabor and Avadi Gabadi. Lucas Shea was further back than these guys, and he's just jumped both of them. So that is good for Lucas. Pitting a couple laps early has allowed him to jump the pair of them. So that is good news for Venturi. But so Tony into the lead then of this race, who is ahead of his own teammate Zozo, who then has Zitani behind him. And then we've got this little group here of Ryan, Tekbe, Lawrence, Gabriel, Tristan, Lago just getting past Ryan Jacobs now, who's dropped off the back of Tristan. Oh, bit of a wobble there from Ryan Jacobs, so that's gonna make him very susceptible to Joe Murphy after. As look how close Joe already is to the back of Ryan. Ryan just able to stay within DRS of the SE ahead as Diego's into the pits, same as Ryan Gobb and Tech, and Gabriel Moya also into the pits. Ryan Jacobs into the pits. Gabriel Moya 10 seconds to speed it in the pit lane. Oh dear, that's a bad day for him. Kenneth for fastest lap of the race at 144.118 as he currently sits far down the field. So Zozo actually pitting a lap later is actually going to come up behind Lucas and Gabor. So that is not good for Zozo. That is not good at all for him. He obviously going to fresher tyres, but Avadi Gabadi is going to be all over the back of him. All 3 of these are going to swamp the Venturi of Lucas Shea. All 3 of them go past. Oh, but Avadi Gabadi cuts the corner way too much. That tries to dive down the inside of Gabor, hitting him, pushing him off the track, and because of it, result of that, Gabor picks up 3 seconds for track limit violations. That is very unfortunate there. Avadi Gabadi getting a little bit too over eager there with the overtake. But that is unfortunate. Luckily for Diego and Lucas, they got away from it relatively unscathed. But still, that's one for the stewards' room after the race. As now it looks like Atala is into the pits, same as Ziteni. I would assume Laurent, the rest of these guys are going to be into the pits as well. As looks like Joe Murphy and Lago actually caught up to the pair of them. Caught up to the one wall. As Joe Murphy was fastest out of the race at 1:43.585. So everybody else is into the pits. It's going to be interesting to see where they go. It looks like Atala is going to come out behind Nando. He doesn't have to fight long to try and get within DRS of Nando. He's got the fresher tyres compared to the Venturi driver. But the Venturi driver is on the harder tyres. So, SCA right now, pure domination from the boys. First and second, where they've been pretty much for most of this race. Obviously, Lago got fastest lap for, pole position, so that's an extra point for them. And I think right now, Joe Murphy has the fastest lap of the race. There we are, yep. Joe has it by quite a margin. Everyone else has done like 44s and 45s. Joe's the only one in 43s. So, yeah. Nando's gained 12 positions this race, and Tony's back where he started. So everyone's pitted. There's your tyres. Nando's done 10 laps on the hards. Valentino and Dennis Langrock have done 8, as Atala's now getting past Nando. And now we'll look to try and chase after Langrock. And Kenneth is also on the hards as well. As Joe Murphy goes even faster. A 1:43.124 now for the Shizou Scenic Igniter driver. So this is just a pure dominance from Shizou here. So far, right now they've already claimed the pole lap. They've got first and second right now, and they've got the fastest lap under their belt right now. It's just a question of which one's going to finish, which way around are these two going to finish. Obviously, it doesn't matter because this is a team event, as it looks like Zozo is going to get past Nando now, as he's now sweeping his way through the field. But they've got a massive gap to Zitani, who pitted a lap later than them. But the FAR boys just trying to fight their way through the field. Next on the list for Tony Atala is Dennis Langrock. Is going to try and go up the inside of Puon. That's an interesting place to try and overtake Tony. I haven't seen someone try to go for a move at Puon before. He tried it, but failed. So he might have to wait until the long straight. Like, Tony is not waiting around. He wants to get past Dennis Langrock, like, right now. So he can start catching up. Like, bro is trying his hardest to catch the frick up. Will Tony go for a bit of a send? Nope. Thought about it though. Might go for a little bit of a send at turn 1. Look how close he is to the back of that Thomas Racing. Will he go to the inside here at turn 1? He's going to look for it. Oh, bit of contact, more contact. And now, oh, but it's more contact that shoved Langrock onto the gravel. And that inadvertently has let Gabor Santos through. And now these guys. Whoa, we're going to have a 4 wide moment. What a camera angle this is. Hey, let's go, lads. What a camera angle that is. As it looks like Zozo's going to go ahead of this pack. Then Gabor, Tony, and Langrock. But, hell, that was a heck of a moment. As Zitani is going to go up the inside of Langrock here. But, goddamn, 4 wide down the Kemmel straight. It's rare to see that, but it's nice to see it. Like, goddamn. So, next for Zozo is Valentino Labella, who is 1.7 off of Kenneth. And Kenneth is 5 seconds off the back of the SEA boys. Obviously, Tony, Zozo and Tony have fresher tyres than the front two, but I don't think they're gonna realistically even catch the ones up front. they will certainly give it a good try. Certainly. As it looks like Ziteni is having a little look at Tony Atala here. But no, Tony keeping ahead of the MR driver. Goes a little bit deep and Ziteni straight down the inside with the switchback. And the MR driver says, thank you very much for that P7. And Lawrence Patton has been kicked out of the game again. With 3 laps to go. Oh, that is unfortunate for Lawrence. As it looks like Zozo and Gabov got past Valentino Labella now. But that does absolute suck for ETA. Lawrence Patton having issues all day with thing. As hello, Ziteni is at it again. This man's trying to create his own highlight reel of crazy overtakes. Like, there's no way you're gonna try and do it at a pool one. Nah, no way. Yeah, I didn't think so. But bro is trying to make his own highlight reel of overtakes right now. As it looks like Zozo's almost caught up to Kenneth. This is still going to be a lot of points for FVR, but obviously they would have liked a whole lot more as Tristan Jansen's off the roads in the middle sector. So I wonder if he's been bumped off or he's made a mistake himself. As Lawrence Patton's left the session yet again. So clearly somebody's game just does not like him today. That is unfortunate for the ET8 man. His teammate currently in P11. Sorry, not P11, P10, sorry. Right behind the Dennis Langrock at the back of this train here. As Bart, you'll have to find out later when it goes to Stuart's room. Just, if you see something about this guy you don't like, just report it. Get your clip from your drivers. As it looks like Ziteni is going to have a massive look at Gabor. But Valentino Labella is going to think as we're going to have... They're all going to be biffing and bumping up each other. Because Labella is trying to keep to the inside. And obviously Gabor is kind of boxing Ziteni in. But man muscles his way through and into P5. And we're now trying to look to get after Zozo. Who's barely on it. Caught up to Kenneth. So we're on the second to last lap here. We're on lap 21 of the 22 laps. So yeah, we should finish before just on dead on 7. Yeah, we'll soon see. Right, we're right on board. So see if he tries to make a move at the bus stop chicane, or will he leave it into the Kemmel straight? We'll see soon enough. So that answers that question. No, he's going to leave it to the Kemmel straight. Because I think Ziteni is going to go with him. But these guys have not been able to catch up to the SCI drivers ahead of him. Like, pure dominance from Shizou Cedic Igniters today. Literally pole with first and second, but no faster start because I believe that's held by Lawrence Patton, the only person to do a time in the 42s. So Ligo's going to go ahead of Murphy as a rider board here with Diego, as he's going to go flying past Kenneth. Ziteni might try and go for it on the brakes. Oh, but contact made between Kenneth and Ziteni, and Kenneth getting a full 3 seconds for absolute corner cutting. Oh dear, Kenneth. That is really unfortunate there. So Ziteni going for a bit of a dive bomb on Kenneth, and then Kenneth just going straight across the road. So that is unfortunate. So I don't think anything else is going to really happen. Like, Ziteni has one last opportunity to try and overtake Kenneth, and that is from thing. Like, so Tenny will be burning all that battery to try and catch up to Kenneth. Might look to try and send it on the brakes at the bus stop chicane. Kenneth smartly covering the inside line. See Tenny try and do the up and under. Obviously, the SEA boys win the race. Diego's going to take the podium. And Kenneth is going to hold off Tenny to take fourth, but then lose it due to 3 seconds worth of pens. As Labella has Labella disconnected from the session. No, he's been kicked out of the game early. Somebody from Tatum will have to try and, like, we'll have to get that reinstated, so I need to report in, please. Anyone from Tatum Race Tech, that. Same for Ryan as well. Same for Ryan. Like, please, guys, don't leave session early because it glitches it out and retires your car. So, we're just waiting for Tristan Janssen across the line, and then we should be able to get going. So, great race here in Belgium. But obviously, absolute sheer dominance from the Shizou drivers. So here we go then. So Lago takes the win here for Shizou Scenic Igniters. Joe Murphy in P2. Then Diego for FVR taking the last podium spot. Tenny will finish P4 where they started. Tony in P5. Then Ryan Gobb for ETA in 6th. Then Langrock, obviously Kenneth had the 3 seconds here, so he dropped all the way down to 8th. I think that 3 seconds may get removed, it might not. It depends on what the stewards feel. If it does, he'll get bumped up back to 4th. And Avadi Kabadi in 9th. Gabo Santos in 10th. Then Nando, Techby, Lucas Shea, Gabriel Moya, Lawrence Patton, Tristan Janssen, and then Labella and Ryan. But obviously, Tatum and TF10, make sure you report those two leaving, otherwise they will not get reinstated. They'll just be left at the bottom. So make sure you lads do that. So I'll just bring you back to my ugly mug. As I'll say, thank you all for watching. I will put the calendar on screen for you guys again, so just give me 1 second. There you go. The last 3 races have been revealed. We are going to Miami in 2 weeks' time, and then we go to Mexico the week after, and then we end in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So can't wait to travel North and South America with you guys in a couple weeks' time. So we'll certainly have some fun in Miami. Lovely beaches there. But anyway, that is it from me today. Obviously, Corey Brooks should have been with me today, but obviously was not. I don't know what happened to him in the end, but do apologize. But obviously, hopefully he should be back when we come back in 2 weeks' time. But for now, that is it. End of stream. We'll see you at the next race in Miami, Florida in 2 weeks' time. Cheerio.